I'm not going to say a single word about the Tennessee Titans record against the Indianapolis Colts because I was a punter, and there's no reason for me to talk about that. With that being said, we did not punt much against the Tennessee Titans, so you probably have no clue who I am to begin.
Look, I'm unstoppable. Forget your defense, nothing but an obstacle. Run it back, switch it up, call it audible. Serving up them Hail Marys till the game over with the showstopper. So hot, you gotta blow on it. I said I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll pass to my left while I'm looking to my right. Hit him right in the chest. It be looking like magic. Better give me the throne. I ain't talking about Patrick, but I rep my home. I'm never at the end of my zone. I'm bad to the bone. Eating up these pig skins like they chicharrones. And you a douche cabron. Mira, mira at the mirror on the wall. I'm the greatest of them all. They gon' put me in the hall. Your name is only written in a bathroom stall. Quit your stalling and make a play. My drive too long. Pop the clutch, I don't pump the brakes. I know what it takes to gain the muscle, get rugged. These butterfingers be fumbling, squash the scrimmage and rub it in Robitussin. How I give them concussion, they see in double, they rushing and pass the shovel, the dirt and rubble, I bury them under it. Stay in your huddle and get 10 yards back, never turn your back. I'ma pull your flag, I go full contact, out punch, out kick like a shotgun.
Welcome back, people. We're glad to see you. Hope everybody had a 4th of July. I hope you're tuning in with all your fingers and appendages intact. You know what I mean? You know, look. That's right. 10 fingers, 10 toes down, right? Yeah. No JPPs here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just like I said, it's just like cautionary tales, man. We just got to make sure. But hey, listen. We have a great episode for you guys tonight. Of course, you see that we have somebody here. I want to let you know it's just like this is somebody that not only are we very happy to have on, but it's somebody that I myself have become almost like brothers with. And that's because we became brothers through other acquaintances. But, you know, we're going to get into all that later on. Welcome to the HorseShoe podcast. We're coming to you with everything Colts. And we're sprinkling in some Titan slander every now and then. They believe they run the South. And, you know how that is. They're just, they run the South with light blue and eat teaspoons full of mayonnaise. Like, it's just like, man, it's just like yo, just like, bro, nah, just don't do it. But, hey. Listen, we have a great show for you tonight, and we're going to get to our esteemed guest. But I do want to make sure that before we go any further, make sure you are visiting www.fanbattlesports.com, where you can go see all of the AFC South Fan Battle content. You'll be able to get episodes, like I said, podcast video. You'll be able to read articles from us. I have an article coming out this week just about some recent things that we've heard, some things we're going to talk about tonight, but you'll be able to get a little bit more detailed in there. So, yeah, make sure that you're visiting www.fanbattlesports.com. Make sure that you're liking, commenting, and sharing. And without further ado, man, let's go ahead and get to the guest of the hour. You know I'm Chris. You know that's Josh Sr. Or Senior, depending on what region you're from. But, I mean, that's completely up to you. But we have with us from the Sick Podcast Anvil Show, a man who's not only a sneakerhead that I appreciate, but also a well-traveled, good brother. We have with us tonight Clyde Oliver, everybody. Everybody, welcome Clyde. Go ahead and comment, say welcome. If you're a Jags fan, please try to make sure that your spelling gets correct. We know that grammar be kicking y'all butts down there. But yeah, man. Duval. Listen, if they can't spell nothing else, they can spell Duval.
Yeah, it's easy. With a bunch of L's.
And you.
Hey, by the way, before you do introduce yourself, I do have to ask, because Pat asked, Clyde, how many vacations do you take every month?
I will not be slandered by a co-host. You'll have your chance on my podcast, but tonight's my night. Thank you, Patrick.
There you go. Thank you, Patrick. That is his response, and he is sticking to it. So yes, we have with us Clyde Oliver tonight, everybody. And Clyde, man, just tell us about yourself.
Well, first off, y'all music to come on to the show is dope, bro. I thought I had a bar in me, and then we went live. But
Hey,
no,
hey, Quick 16 never hurt nobody.
I
Bro.
know, right? Ever. But no, man. So I am a avid Colts fan, podcaster, born and raised in Indianapolis, Indiana. Had my own podcast for a while when I was talking Colts, the Indy Boys, with my brother-in-law and my other brother from another mother. And then I was invited to join the Anvil, and then we turned that into an opportunity to join the Sick Network. And so that's been a blessing, man. So really, honestly, we try our hardest to give our all to our fans and to just Colt fans in general. Get out there, meet the players, meet the staff, meet whoever, you know what I mean? I try to hit the road and go to games as far as the combine and draft as well. So just a huge Colts fan, man. That's what it is.
Absolutely. And you know what? It's funny because I know you through well, actually, hold on. Wait, is he through a Falcons fan? I know you through a Falcons fan through Jeter.
Small world.
By the way, completely unsports related, but make sure y'all check out produced by B Heat on pretty much every social media.
Yeah.
Plenty of beats, makes great music, so make sure that you're checking him out as well. But yeah, it was crazy just like being able to kind of like make those correlations, but it was actually pretty cool because even through different journeys, I think you've gotten me connected to like different Colts fans.
Yes, sir.
And so, you know, it's just like we definitely do appreciate that. And also shout out to the guys on the Anvil Show, Sick Podcast on YouTube. Make sure that you're checking that out. But without further ado, because I know that we discuss this stuff all the time. I know you were out here for the draft. We kind of talked about the draft a little bit.
Yes, sir.
What I need to know is just from you, from what you've seen and what you've heard, what is your first impression of Anthony Richardson thus far?
Okay, so if we're just going off of, you know, the politically correct answer is he is a Colts guy. What does that mean?
Okay.
Right attitude. He brings the right energy, high character. I mean, I don't know if you guys read the story the other day about him just being out in the streets of Indiana, picking and holding a baby. Like that's that Colts culture, right? My city is a very, very blue collar city. You know, hardworking people in the Midwest, and we need a guy that we can absolutely gravitate to. We had that with Peyton, we had that with Andrew, and I think AR is going to be the third of that in that nature. So, I really like the pick. You guys will hear me if you go back and listen to the podcast. I was flip-floppy. Like when I first introduced, I guess, our side of the house to Anthony Richardson, it was all off of hype, right? It was just the LSU game. I was like, what is this? Then I started doing research and I got a little cold feet. I was like, oh, he ain't got that much playing time. Oh, this and this. It was making me nervous, right? And then we go to the combine and we see him live, and I'm like, yo, this is freaking athletic stuff. You can't make this up, man. And so I just kept going back and forth, man. But as you've seen at the draft, if you've seen that when we selected him, I lost my mind a little bit. So yeah, I am on board, man. I am definitely on board.
Yeah.
What's up, Austin?
Yes, like I think we were all just kind of like we love the pick because you know you had the chance to see it. I think like watching it live, especially in Kansas City, you're like, hold on, the Texans are trading up after they get CJ Stroud, and it's just like, what are they going to do right now? They said we have a trade, and then it's just like, wait, who's trading up? And then Texans trade up. It's like, oh, they just saved us.
Yeah,
because I mean because I need to ask, how would you have felt if it was Levis instead of Richardson?
I would have been disgusted, bro. Like, and what I mean by that, man, and who knows, Will Levis might end up being a solid player, but like I had said over on our show, it's like when you have that much athleticism and talent, right, that's in front of you, and you're going to say, I'm okay passing on him, you have to automatically know the guy that you're taking is going to be a GOAT, first ballot, because with that much talent, with that much athleticism, you got to believe in your coaching staff that, hey, if he does have slight issues, we can work on those, but we cannot 6'5"-ish, 240-ish, 4'4"-ish. You can't make that up. So we're going to have to find a way to make this work.
Exactly.
And he can hoop.
Exactly.
Like on the Pacers, you never double dip it like high school.
Man.
Yeah, I know we we saw James Boyd, another friend of the podcast, get on there and he recorded the clip of Anthony Richardson that he was about to dunk on somebody.
Yeah.
And I was about to say, it's just like you can't just be out there dunking on people. These people pay taxes. Like it's just like you can't you can't do that. Like you can't just be out there. It's just like how people gonna see you then. It's just like, oh, this man is just out here just abusing the fan base. It's like you can't do that. You gotta be nice. It's like you can tell people, be like, hey, you might want to move out the way. It's like that's just what it is. But yeah. But on the topic of Richardson, right? Because Irsay sat down with Pat McAfee. They discussed, everything regarding the Colts. And Irsay, he's a very upfront, very honest person in his opinions, right? So we know that he went and he sat down, he started talking about Anthony Richardson. And he says, look, you want him to be able to do it. He mentioned, Peyton being 3-13 in his first year, right? And so, everything that he was saying is kind of alluding to the fact that he may want Anthony Richardson to play. Now, at the end of it, he did go and say that at the end, it is still up to Shane Steichen when he's going to be out there. But based on what we've seen with what he said about Anthony Richardson, where do you think his mindset is at? Like, do you think that he is fine with Anthony Richardson starting and let's just say this year being not so successful in that case?
Absolutely. Now, again, I just call me flip-floppy Clyde. But as it gets closer, I mean, like it really breaks it down to, okay, what's the alternative? You get another, I guess you could say veteran quarterback now in Gardner Minshew, who has the opportunity to come in here and win a few games, maybe not, and still don't know what your quarterback of the future looks like, even though he's on the roster. So my question is, why not play right now? Of course, if he comes out and has a Trevor first year and goes 2-14, the division is going to roast us. Cool. But you see, they waited, and here we are, going to year 3. Trevor wins 9 games last year, wins a playoff game, and they already think he's won 4 Super Bowls. So and that's the overall number 1 pick with high talent. So what I'm getting at is I feel like you're never going to get a vast amount of experience holding the clipboard as you will calling the shots. So let him call the shots. You know what I mean? Like you got Gardner there. If things, because let's say there's a game or two where you have to pull him. Even as a starter, that doesn't knock his pride. That doesn't do anything like that because it's expected, honestly. But what's the alternative when Gardner's having a shitty game? Put the rookie in, and then what, right? Like, hopefully he does great, but what if he doesn't? So, you know what I'm saying? So, to me, it's worse the other way, right? Like, I'm sorry, it's worse that way by having to pull Gardner to put him in, and then he kind of, is dull, and now what, right? So, let him start. That's my thing. Let him start.
Okay. And what about you, Josh? Because I know we've kind of been over it, but it's like we're getting a little bit closer to it. So, like, how are we feeling about it now?
I mean, like Clyde, like Shane. I mean, like the coach brass, everybody saying that in order for him to get better, he must play on the field. I mean, he can't get better sitting on the sideline watching, other quarterbacks make plays. We don't know what Gardner's going to be. We don't know what he's going to be. But I mean, the team is not set for the playoff run this year. Why not just get all the reps you can get? Whether he fumbles the ball, throws a pick, whatever. Let him get all those wrinkles out. So year 2, the game comes to him. The speed comes to him because I mean he can go out there and just run all over the place like Lamar did year 1, and just be a freak of nature like he's been doing in his college career. But he can't do that sitting on the sideline. He let Gardner, play 17 games and let him. Okay, well he's ready year 2. Well, how will you know that? Because he haven't played. You see what happened with Tennessee did with Willis. I think he didn't play all year, but he played against the Chiefs. A tough game, tough opponent, and he shit the bed. I mean, he kept him in the game, but in overtime he shit the bed. Now they don't want him anymore. So I mean,
Or do they? I don't know. They're weird down there.
Because they clearly said that they said Malik Willis is outperforming Will Levis in camp,
right.
But he can still get cut. Like, wait, hold on. How does that work? What are we doing here?
Well, it's just like Anthony Richardson can play well and we still draft the quarterback next year. That's how it sounds, like some stupid shit like that. Like Tennessee make the most dumb decisions ever. Like they traded, AJ and then said they were fine, but now
they're in shambles.
They traded AJ for a slim O lineman. What are we doing here? Like, what's happening right now?
And Burks is about to be Jerry Rice in their world.
Well, yeah, because but Titans fans are advocating for getting D-Hop, of course, but they said, oh no, Traylon Burks has more upside than Drake London. That was actually one of the discussions that we had, where it's just like, how does he have more upside when Drake London literally had the exact same stats last year? Or matter of fact, he had double the stats that Burks had last year, and he did it with Desmond Ridder and Marcus Mariota.
You got to just stay face sometimes. And I think, honestly, when it's Colts fans, like, at least me, I'm super honest. Like, when we draft somebody, I'm not happy. I don't think that that's always the outcome. Like, he's not going to be bad, but I stick to my guns. Like, when we chose Rock Ya-Sin over everybody, bro, I was sick. Yes. And we did that in Tennessee of all places. I was there and I threw up everywhere. I was like, what?
see, Clyde, you. I don't think I ever talked to you about that yet. But I was standing in front of my TV. That's the reason why I stopped watching the draft, because I was standing up saying, we're going to get Montez Sweat. We're going to get Montez Sweat. We're going to get Montez Sweat. And said, we traded with the Redskins. You traded out. What the fuck we just did? What?
Yep.
I'm done. No more draft for me. No more draft.
And even still, bro, AJ Brown. What's the kid from Washington out of Indiana?
Terry.
Yeah, Terry McLaurin.
Terry. Everybody was there, bro. DK Metcalf.
DK was there. AJ. Now, mind you, I will say, DK had red flags for me because he was injury prone and he didn't really have the stats in college. So it's just like right now, it's just like seeing how it is. It's just like, okay, like that panned out. But that scared me because I'm just like, we have injury issues enough as it is.
Yeah, we got the worst staff in the league, bro. I don't know. Them boys just give them multiple dummies because they'll be doing no work on the injury side.
Yeah, it's just like I'm telling you, it's just like they go into the training room, are just like, oh man, it feels like I tore my Achilles. All right, well, take some Robitussin and get out. Like
wrap it in the ace.
Exactly.
Or melatonin.
Take a nap.
Tell them to take CBD gummies and they'll be fine in 2 to 3 weeks. Like, what are we doing here?
I swear our staff is wild, bro.
But hey, we got a couple more comments. Austin says start him week 1, let him win rookie of the year, then MVP next year. We said, do you think AR is going to start? I think that was answered with that. We have an interesting one. Clyde, why do you have to buy the beer this year at the games?
Because I told CJ, I told Carvey that we were not going to draft him because, and so this goes back, right? So I'm gonna just make this 30 seconds worth. This goes back to early on after they were really riding the hype train. We were way early pre-draft, so we're talking December-ish. And a couple people on the page was like, "Oh, you got to take this guy," and I was like, "Bro, you realize right now at this moment, dude's like a second, maybe third, maybe fourth round pick because there's nothing out there on him. He's only got that much experience." And then a combine happens. And it's like, who cares about 13 games? Look at this dude. So again, the RAS score is something that Chris Ballard loves. Hence, going back to DK Metcalf, blew the shit out the charts. Still I don't know how I always end up back there. But anyway, that's my thoughts on that's why I got to buy CJ beer, because I said there was no way we were drafting him at that moment, and they held me to it. So
I mentioned AR before anybody. I said, you think we should get AR? It's like, we're gonna get CJ or Bryce Young. I was like, okay, I just thought about, I was looking at how it's supposed to we could be with AR. I know what we can be with Levis and possibly with, with Young kind of small, how we'll be with CJ. I was like, man, but the Colts never had a quarterback like Anthony Richardson. Yeah, exposed to that can do like Lamar Jackson or Cam Newton, whoever. I mean, we never had that type of offense ever. So I was like, man, just imagine if we had that. And then I was like, you know what? I doubt we get him. I think we get somebody else. They'll get Levis. They'll probably get, CJ, because I thought Texans wasn't going to get a quarterback. So I was like, yeah, we're going to get CJ. So that was my pick. I said CJ, my pick, but my second pick would be AR.
Well, I think I think also pre-draft, the other thing that you weren't counting on was the fact that the Panthers were going to trade up to 1 and get the Bears out of that number 1 spot, because that changed. That I think Anthony Richardson was kind of like that fringe. That's when Will Levis was still kind of in the running, and then as soon as the Panthers traded up to that spot, knowing that they had no quarterback, you knew where they were going. And you know that Frank Reich was smiling from ear to ear in every single picture with every single private workout that they had with like all the quarterbacks. Yeah. So I think that was another thing that was just like, because up until then, it was just like, oh, CJ Stroud could absolutely go to us, because there's no way that the Bears are picking anybody except for like a D tackle or an O lineman. And then the Panthers pulled that nonsense. So that threw everything off. So dang, Clyde, I don't know. Yo, you really made that. You made that trade before the draft, before that even trade happened. Like, that wasn't fair.
That was but that's something I talk about in the draft, and that's why it's so important, man. Because you have to really understand, like, you might have a lottery pick, but what year do you have that lottery pick? Because we've seen in the past teams have lottery picks and they end up taking guys at 1, 2, 3, 4, and they like, bro, I don't really want to do this, but this draft says I should, and Mel Kiper and the gang are telling me we should. So I commend Ryan. What's his name? Ryan Poles or whatever.
Ryan Poles. Yep.
Yeah, out of Chicago, for like being like, we got number 1, but I don't really want this. But let me act like I do and find the right deal, because man, he made out like a fat rat. So good on him. Yeah,
and I mean, he got a wide receiver. I think didn't they get they got their first round pick for next year too.
Yeah. Heck yeah. So the trade was crazy, bro. You get what's the kid, DJ Moore, and
they got DJ Moore,
something else.
They got Claypool, they got
bro, they're good.
Let me see what they got. I forgot
with Mega Man playing quarterback, they all right, bro. Man, did you see that picture, bro? He was this big. I say he looked like the little Mega Man, bro, from Nintendo back in the day.
It's crazy because I think one of the coaches, they were running past him, and it's just like, the coach is taller than he is. And I think you look at the coach, I think the coach is like 5'11", 6 foot. It's just like, geez, this guy, I'm telling you, it's just like he's short. He's not like he's not short like the way Kyler Murray is, because Kyler Murray is short with short legs. So whenever he runs, it looks like it's a baby running in pads on the field.
But he's like, but Kyler got weight on him. Like, Bryce looks like, hey, I'm a JV player on varsity and I'm 8th grade. You know what I mean?
Bryce got that like Miles Morales across the Spider-Verse side.
Let's see. What's our average size on our offensive line? 6'3"?
On our O line, the Colts line?
6'3", 6'4". I mean, we're not tall, like, but we tall.
So, because Ryan Kelly's like 6'3", and if old boy plays guard again, Pinter, he was only like 6'2", 6'3". So
I'm hoping that what's the name, Emeka actually ends up taking that guard spot, because
we need that. We can't have that, bro. Jesus Christ. Why haven't we picked up old boy, or why hasn't anybody picked up old boy from Denver? What's your thoughts on that? What's his name? I think that's with my tongue.
I can see the face, I just can't see the name.
Damn it.
Because I think for one, it's just like, I think he was somebody else who's like had injury issues too.
Injuries, but he was a dog his first 2 years. Absolutely.
Oh dog. Absolutely.
Going into year 5, I think. But
I'm see, now I'm gonna have to look at. Thank you, Clyde. Thank you for this, because you
nuts, bro. Because they were one like, you know how you read those on Bleacher Report, it'd be like one free agent every team should look at. I read that a few weeks ago, and he was the guy for us. And I was like, damn, he's still out there? Because he has once you hear his name, you're like, oh yeah, he's pretty solid. But then he did have some injuries. But
was it Risner?
Dalton Reisner. Yeah, is that his name? Dalton Reisner? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yep. Okay, yeah. So I'm just sitting there thinking like, well, damn, that would be a nice little piece. I wonder what the price would be, but who knows, man.
You know, Bally gonna pick somebody up from it's gonna be a camp cut body.
Your bargain bin. You about to go on that too?
He's gonna pick up somebody who was a captain in high school that volunteers that rescue shelter on the weekend.
Clyde know how I am. Clyde know how I am about Ballard, so I'm not gonna do that today. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Oh, not the Kmart.
If you want to get picked up by Ballard, you need to be decent at what you do, and you need to have at least 2,500 community service hours. Like that's like I'm all for high character guys, but listen, if you can produce and you have a little bit of an attitude problem, we can deal with that. Like that just a little bit. Like that's fine. Which is the reason why I think we should pick up Marcus Peters. I think Marcus Peters is just like he has that big personality, but at the same time, it's like we don't have Rodgers now.
What
so
is he, like,
after Kenny Moore,
is he 30?
No, I think he's like 29-30.
29-30.
Yeah, he's like 29-30. But even if that is the case, you bring him in possibly for a year, maybe shore that up, let Kenny Moore see what he can do. Because right now, I think Kenny Moore is probably in the worst situation possible because people are probably going to be looking to go ahead and attack him or attack the young guys.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's in a year where he's trying to get another deal. So,
bro, you know what? I'm about to show my age. I don't even know if y'all was Colts fans back then, but we haven't had a cornerback with an attitude or like some edge or some swag about him. I mean, Kenny, yeah, okay, but I'm talking about with an edge since I was a kid. Ray Buchanan, bro.
Ray Buchanan, I knew it. I was just like, yeah.
Ray was my dog, man. I went to his camp and everything.
Well, you can say Vontae Davis. You can say Vontae Davis.
Vontae. So Vontae was one of those guys where he was good, but he wasn't a trash talker. Like he wasn't a trash talker. He was good. He was good at what he did. But that was he wasn't that. Like Ray Buchanan, but the thing is Ray Buchanan had to be that because Ray Buchanan was about the same height as I think Kenny Moore.
Yeah, he was.
So you had to be scrappy. Like you had to be scrappy. You had to be good in that case. So yeah, I think Ray. We haven't had that type of scrap in a very, very long time. Excellent. And I think part of it is because of the fact that Ballard wants those high character guys.
So y'all didn't like Marlon Jackson? He was. I mean,
he had a Michigan. That's my squad, and he made the catch that took us to the Super Bowl. But like Ray Buchanan was in your face, bro. Like starting fights. Like man, we need a dude like that.
What about Kevin Hayden?
No.
He was so hit or miss, bro. Like he'll have a great play and then get smoked.
Well, at least Nick Harper got stabbed, so he got hurt.
Bro, don't do that to me. That's still out of all the games that I've watched, that's the one hurts the most. And it was just a wild card game, I think, maybe a divisional. But I'm like, bro, you can't let Ben Roethlisberger catch. I don't give a shit if you got stabbed twice, dude. Like I'd rather Jerome Bettis, who fumbled some kind of way, run as fast as he's ever done in his life and catch you than Ben Roethlisberger, bro. Like, what do we do?
Because Ben catch you is just like is it your conditioning? Like, is it for lack of effort? Like, how can you allow that to happen?
Stuff. Then Vanderjack kicked the football like halfway to freaking St. Louis. Come on, bro. I'm not here for this.
Idiot kicker.
Why are you doing this to me?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man.
Idiot kicker.
But he's the most accurate of them all. Like he's like all-time most accurate kicker.
That don't mean he's not an idiot. You could be accurate and be an idiot. It's just like the two can coincide with each other.
He looked like Ken, bro, from like Barbie.
Didn't Pate call him a drunk ass kicker?
Idiot kicker. He called him an idiot kicker. Yeah, he called him a drunk too. Yeah.
Crazy. Like the dude from Replacements. Remember that?
Yeah, yo, that guy was hilarious. And you know what? It's crazy because that was the same guy who was in Lil Nicky.
Yeah,
he was like drinking the peach schnapps. It's just like, yo, that guy. He's a drinker in everything that he's in. Like that guy is amazing.
He was smoking.
Wait, we got some more comments. Then we're gonna go to the next thing. But they say stardom. I think he's gonna be a lot better than people think. Everyone dogs his completion percentage, but his receivers at Florida wasn't that good. Thank you for that comment, Ronnie. Kyle Mathiasen says, for the shoe, believe that? Absolutely. And then Pat says, question for you all. If you had the number one pick in this year's draft, which QB would you have taken? We'll answer that after we. Yeah. I feel like in today's game, you need CBs like Sauce and Ramsey with that confident swagger attitude. And I'm with that because, I mean, Sauce is great, but then again, it's just like to me, I think somebody who got overlooked was Tariq Woolen, who was just an athletic.
Oh
freak.
yeah.
But you don't hear nothing like that, so it's just like you.
And look at him in Seattle now, balling in Seattle. I thought he was coming up. He had a UTSA too. I seen him play when I was down here. What I'm trying to tell you.
so back to Pat's question. If you had number one pick in this year's draft, who would you have taken?
I got to stick my guns, bro. I would have taken CJ Stroud. I promise you, I would have done that. And I'm a Michigan guy. It's crazy that I'm rooting for Ohio State guys, especially quarterback, because you know how they usually do in the NFL, which is not well. But I mean, just watching the kid, he had some moments when he was rattled, but on the biggest stages, like the Georgia game, he was out of his mind. And it's just the way he spins the rock, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's just an excellent football thrower, right? And I felt like if you want the most prototypical quarterback in here, size, you know, he's 6'3", 6'4", maybe 6'3". But moral of the story is like he's going to give you probably the best overall picture of what a quarterback, you know, the traditional quarterback's gonna look like in this draft. So that's who I thought. But again, I mean, we got who we got, and it is what it is.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be unfair. I'm gonna be very unfair about this one. I'm gonna trade down to 4. I'm gonna trade down to 4 because the thing is, the haul, even going from 1 to 4, even from 1 to 2, because we've seen when people go from 1 to 2, and then you know that's when Mitch Trubisky happens. But that also is going to get you. but that's also going to get you, you know, more draft capital. That's going to get you more things, not just in this one, but in the next one, because it resulted in the next. If I'm trading down from 1 to 4, I think I'd still take Richardson, but I also would take Richardson knowing that you're going to have those extra picks to be able to acquire more talent, and then you're going to have 2 first-round picks for next year. So for me, it's just like I think I'd still do that, knowing that AR is the athletic freak that he is, but then also knowing that, you know, we're going for the future. If this is a team that's willing to bet it all on the quarterback, there's a chance that they may not turn it around that quickly. So if they don't, you got 2 first-round picks next year. Who knows? If one of those is in the top 5, then you know that you might have MHJ come your way. So that's where I stand. Because, you know, Marvin Harrison Jr. would be a dream. It's a pipe dream, but a dream nonetheless.
Like a pipe bomb dream. Do we want to go through another terrible season to get there? I don't know, but I don't know.
My heart can't take it. My heart can't take it. Like I'm saying, it's just like I said, we on the podcast a few weeks ago, we said that I said that the floor for the team was like 5 or 6 wins. But I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. is looking real 3 wins-ish in order to be in that position. And I can't listen. I don't want to hear any fans' mouths, much less the Titans, because if they end up being trash and still somehow better than us, we'll never hear the end of it.
Ever.
We're in a group right now where Titans fans said that they run the South as of right now. And it's like, y'all do know who won the division.
Yeah. Anyway.
You know, but it's funny because you say we run the South, but we would have won the division if we had no injuries.
I mean, if it was a fifth, Andrew Luck doesn't retire. I mean, come on, how far you want to go with that? That's what be killing me. You know, I try to keep it to myself, but sometimes I can't, bro. It bothers me.
Exactly. Hey, you know what? You know what, Clyde? It's funny you say Andrew Luck because Andrew Luck's name came up once again because apparently, as of this year, he is eligible to go into the Hall of Fame. Now, it's a hot topic.
Like, point of contention, ain't it?
Scorching hot. It's like one chip challenge, chip hot. Like it's so the thing is okay. So I just need to know, and of course with the explanation, is Andrew Luck a Hall of Famer given what we've seen from him, not based on what he could have been, but based on what we've seen, based on the stats, based on everything? Is he a Hall of Famer?
Oh man, I gotta go first.
Yes, you do. Yes,
all right, bro. Damn. Okay, taking all the emotional sides out, both, the ones that hurt and like, oh, I just hate him because like that ain't me, but other fans are like that.
Mm-hmm.
His play on the field was pretty phenomenal. Now, the problem I have is like he only got 6 years worth of stats. Though he's like the top, I think he's like in the top 4 or 5 for like passing touchdowns based on that time in the league and yards and everything else. So he has the measurables for his amount of time. And I don't know what is the Hall of Fame limit? Is there a Hall of Fame limit amount of years did you have to play? I don't know. I know.
So I don't think there's a limit, but I think when they do base it, they kind of base it on X amount of years. It's kind of like the Megatron issue.
Yeah.
Because Megatron only played for X amount of years.
Yeah.
And then he was gone. But
Right.
the thing is, he'd amassed so many stats that it was hard to deny it. Like he'd broken some of Jerry Rice's old records.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like in record time, for lack of a better word.
And so and Luck might not have done that to that level, especially when you think about a player like Jerry Rice, having some of his stuff being broken. But I'm like, if you just look at how he played, right? Because I think they look at how the person plays. They definitely look at stats, but they look at what they accomplished too. And then they're gonna look at like, okay, well, he had T.Y. Hilton, right? Like, are we going to say T.Y. Hilton was Marvin Harrison? Probably not.
Yeah.
But then you're going to also say, well, who was his supporting cast? Okay, what running back? None. Okay, how many playoff wins did he win? He won what, 3 or 4?
Yeah. Well, actually, he
got more than that.
No, he won 3. He won 3. 4 playoff games. So he has 4 playoff wins because he got the win versus the Texans, which was the most recent. And then remember, he went to wild card division and AFC championship in his first 3 seasons.
Exactly. So, and I'm saying, man, the chips were stacked against him when it comes to like what he was dealing with, getting abused and battered and playing injury. And I think honestly, with a player like Luck, the voters are going to mash all that together, probably more than they've done from anybody else, because you're really going to have to be like, well, damn, Andrew Luck on this team and Andrew Luck not on this team. Look at the difference before him, after. Shit show before him, shit show after, basically. So,
yeah, exactly.
This is one man that carried a franchise for 5.5, 6 years. Like, so with that, I say all that to say, maybe not a first ballot, but at some point, you never know, man. They might they go slide the card. It might be 4 or 5 years, 6 years down the road, but I think Luck slides in, bro.
Okay, all right.
Hey, look at
all right. Hey, all right, Josh. What about you? Is it
hell no? Hell no. It's like X is my jersey still fit from when he played.
I mean, I don't know, bro. You could have slimmed down since then. You know what I'm saying? Like,
snap.
You do live in Louisiana. A lot of crawfish down there get the best of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Udon balls, that type of
stuff. Clive knows. He's probably been there twice.
I've been in New Orleans. Yes, sir. I know.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know the criteria really, because I mean, he haven't played a whole lot. Like Clyde said, maybe 6 seasons because he missed 2 years. So I don't. I mean, well, he retired one of them and he missed the other one. So I don't know, because I think in 6 years he got 24,000 yards. I don't know the touchdowns.
A little shy of 24,000.
So yeah, so I don't.
Yeah.
And how many playoff wins? How many playoff wins he has?
How many what? He has 4
playoff wins.
He has 4 playoff wins.
Like 4, yeah.
I don't know, because I mean, like you said, they kind of gave Kevin Johnson the Hall of Fame inductee over Reggie Wayne, and he had a short period of time. So I don't know, man. It's tough.
It is tough,
right. So
this one's tough.
I'll give you a little bit more time, because I'm gonna give you guys some stats.
Yeah,
and I'm going to go ahead and let you know exactly where I stand after I give the stats. So, and this is from @NFL Rookie Watch on Twitter. So Luck had 171 passing TDs. That's third all time, and that's behind Dan Marino and Pat Mahomes, which means that ultimately, and like I said, it's not what ifs, but with 171 when he retired, there's 23,671 passing yards, which is fourth all time amongst all quarterbacks, trailing only Peyton Manning, Marino, and Mahomes. 275.2 passing yards per game, third all time, trailing only Matt Stafford and Mahomes. So, with this being said, now mind you, Mahomes is a completely different animal. Mahomes has been playing lights out. You take out Mahomes from all these categories because he's current. He has stats that beat out Peyton and Dan Marino in respective categories.
Facts.
And to me, now, would I like to see him in the Hall of Fame? Absolutely. Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer because of the fact that he retired early? I don't think so. Now, also, I don't think I want him in the Hall of Fame because I don't want to give those incel fans that booed Andrew Luck after you saw that Ryan Grigson put no protection on that O-line for him. I don't want them to have the satisfaction of cheering for if, and matter of fact, for when Andrew Luck goes into the Hall of Fame. Because if you had that energy to boo him when he retired because of his health, then you need to have that same energy to make sure that you don't like that when he goes into the Hall of Fame, because that doesn't need to be another thing that you get to talk about.
Keep it. Absolutely.
But I know it's always, I know there's a lot of back and forth, not me and you, but I do get people saying that, you know, he was booed because he was hurt. But I've heard that he got booed because of the news broke, being that it was in a preseason game against the Bears, and it was like, well, what the fuck is going on? He right here on the sideline, you know, scheduled to play week 1, and what the fuck is saying that he's retiring? Like, nobody's saying anything. So they don't know. We don't know if they're booing because of him or booing because the ownership hit this shit from. We don't know. I mean, I was upset, but I wasn't mad at him. I was more like, did they play us like they did Andrew Luck? Because Andrew Luck in 2011 was supposed to play towards the end of the season. They said that, you know, he's scheduled to play, but then they held him out the whole rest of the season. We ended up tanking even further for Andrew Luck. So I'm like, okay, what are they doing? So I started having flashes of 2011. I'm like, oh, it's screwing over us again. So they got everybody to, you know, all the season ticket holders to get their tickets and all that, and then he's retiring. So yeah, I was mad. Not at Andrew Luck, though. I was just mad at how it came out because somebody leaked it to Adam.
Yeah.
And then that's when I was like, oh my God. Like, yeah. So yeah.
True. It was leaked. I forgot it was leaked. Yeah. So yeah, and it's crazy. I'm gonna say this, you know, very lighthearted. So please don't nobody like take this the wrong way. But everybody that's a Colts fan, right? You know, not getting too crazy, but like, you know, where you were on 9/11. Everybody knows where they were when Andrew Luck, the notes when I was driving and my homeboy, who is a huge Panthers fan, who since day one has always been in this argument with me about Cam Newton being better than Andrew Luck, blah, 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 blah. He was the first one to text me and I was driving. He was just like all like laughing, crying on the floor faces. I'm like, bro, what is wrong with you? He's like, what, are you like under a rock or something? I'm like, bro, I'm driving. What's the matter? He's like, oh, go to any news outlet right now for sports. I was like, okay, man. Like, bro, when I opened my phone, it was ESPN and they showed his face and it was like, Luck retires. I was like, who? What? Like, I almost pulled a car over, bro. Like, I was like, like visibly shaking, like, nah, that's not real, bro.
It gotta be fake, yeah. I said the same thing. It gotta be fake.
It's gotta be fake news. So yeah, man, that's tough. And I know a lot of fans took that to heart. And I'm not one. Look, I ain't never played a down in my life that actually gave a damn about, especially if they wasn't getting paid. And I don't know what it's like to have car crashes every day. People hit your body. So
right.
But hey, he chose his health and his family, man. So
yeah, and it's like it's respectable. He, you know, like I said, he stepped away. I think his daughter was on the way too, And the last thing that he wanted to do was just be in pain trying to manage that while having a newborn. It's just like we didn't get the chance to experience Luck in all his greatness, primarily because of what Brandon said. And I mean, I say it all the time. I want to say, forget Grigson. Also, same thing for Dockage, because you don't come for the OG and think that you're just going to be sitting there just saying whatever just because you're mad about somebody's asking about changing over to another social media. Like, whatever. talking about. Oh yeah, well Dan Dockage doesn't like quitters. Why'd you quit West Virginia then? Like, what are we talking about here? Like,
he's an idiot too.
Shut your face.
Didn't he get fired? Didn't he get fired from his network?
He got fired from the last one. Yeah.
Yeah.
He got fired from the last one because he sucks.
Terrible.
Yeah, he's terrible with consent. But I mean, listen, that's neither here nor there. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap up here. So Clyde said yes. Josh said no, even though he has that look on his face like he wants to go ahead and change his answer now that he understands the. Yeah,
I ain't gonna make it.
He said no, still fucking. Josh, you know how Josh is, man. He stick to his guns, bro. I love it.
He ain't gonna make it, man. Look how long it's taking Reggie Wayne to get in.
Yeah,
Reggie Wayne just became eligible when?
3 years ago.
I mean, 3 years ago, he's still waiting. Like,
This will be year 3.
Yeah. So no, but I think Luck will eventually get in. I want to say it'll be year 2 or 3 beforehand, because, like I said, that pool this year is like it's a little bit tough. But we'll see. But in the meantime, man, listen, we're gonna go ahead and just wrap this up. Clyde, you have been, of course, a great guest with us tonight. Glad we got the chance to chop it up with you. I need to know, since you know exactly when you're going to be at camp, would you mind coming back on, giving us the rundown of everything?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. This is fun, bro. Like at first, when you guys were running the other show, what was the other show called?
Oh,
what was y'all show before this one? Come on, man.
You don't know Jack. You don't know Jack.
Y'all don't remember Jack.
Yeah, we did it. Listen. I crapped out. I went blank. My bad.
Right,
My
me
bad.
too. But I didn't miss an episode of that, man, because the way we shot, like it was like we were going off, y'all were coming on, and like I would just be like, boom, I'm gonna just watch this back to back. So I've always wanted to come on here, man. I wish Austin was here. Like he's y'all quiet when he just kind of thing and stays himself, but
he is not quiet. He is not quiet.
He's not quiet. On the show, he's really quiet. Like he answers like, "Oh yeah."
The thing is, Austin politely tells people to shut their ass up. Like that's who Austin is as a person, and it's just like we appreciate
down there.
Yeah, exactly.
Win Rookie of the Year, win MVP, back to back. Okay, cool.
Exactly.
But no, I've always wanted to break bread with y'all and be on here, man. So it's been an absolute honor. I appreciate you guys reaching out. I love what you guys are doing. Definitely keep being persistent. Grab this thing and run with it, bro. And I mean that, man, because only way you're gonna put yourself out there is by keep taking leaps, man. I learned that by being with Pat. Pat is the master of taking leaps. Like sometimes I cringe. Like he'll be like, "Hey, I'm about to go ask this." I'm like, "What the?" And then yo, we're good to go. I'm like, "Dang." Like, bro, chill. Like he nope. I'm just about to go out there and go for it. So I've learned that firsthand watching Pat do his work, man. So you guys keep doing that, man. And the show is gonna take off.
Appreciate you.
Salute to you, bro.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Hey, in the meantime, let the people know, like I said, they're going to be on the airwaves listening, where they can find you on social media and where they can find you guys when you guys are streaming or when you guys are available episode wise. Okay,
so my personal is at NatBoyCO, but I'm not a heavy Twitter user. But Pat is, and so our team, we have the Sick Podcast Anvil Show. It's on Twitter, of course. Mainly, we're trying to grow our Facebook and YouTube numbers always, especially YouTube. So Sick Podcast Anvil Show on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram as well. Tune in, man. So we're more than a podcast because we actually have a tailgate too, which is called The Forge. So we debuted it last year, but we got some stuff up our sleeve this year. Trust me when I tell you, you don't want to miss it. I'm not at liberty to put nothing out there, man. But we're going big, bigger, and biggest this year.
Okay. I'm with it. I'm with it. Hey,
I'm already excited. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey, man, come tailgate with us.
Yeah, we're getting our schedule together to see which games
sir.
we're trying to get out to at least 2 home games. So you know we are going to be out there for whatever you guys got.
Appreciate it. We'll love to see y'all out there, man. Absolutely. So
yeah, absolutely.
It's fun, man.
And
It's been fun, bro. Y'all are a good time. Real talk.
yes. Hey, listen. We aim to just have fun. You know, it's just like we're just trying to keep it cool. You know what I'm saying? But hey, Josh, tell the people where to find you.
Man, I don't even care.
All right, cool. So at official Josh Senior, you can find Austin at Cookie Austin 2. You can find me at CJ Colts fan.
Why don't he care?
And as always, please always remember that no matter what happens, no matter what you do in your life, Sam loves Jalen Ramsey. All right, you guys have a great night.